All right, let's go ahead and get this box on open here, and let's go ahead and show you what exactly you get in this system. Now, they do make other systems as well, more cameras, a larger hard drive, etc. So I'll leave that, guys, up to you if you want to purchase this exact same one or the upgraded beefier, like a 2 terabyte hard drive or something like that. Let's go ahead and get all the parts out of the box here, and we'll go ahead and run through it. Right, next up, let's go ahead and look at our box and unit here. We have our directions and guide, and we do have some stickers so that you obviously can put those in your windows or whatnot. User manual, and they do provide a nice mouse pad for your playback with your mouse there. There are a total of 4 stickers there. All right, let's go ahead and look at our system here, and let's go ahead and set that down. So what makes this system so awesome is this, you guessed it, has a pop-up LCD display right here. Take a look at that. That is awesome, especially for playback when you're trying to find out exactly what is going on. So let's get these protective covers off of here. So the screen does swivel around so that obviously the antennas are in the back, and it lays down flat as well this direction. But if you don't want that screen exposed, thinking that somebody might come by, then you can obviously set the screen down against the box there. And then when you want to view it, go ahead and whip it around. We will, of course, be showing you that. The screen is a 10.1 inch LCD, and inside here is our DVR NVR combo with, again, a 1 terabyte hard drive inside. Here is our on and off button for the screen here, a USB for the mouse right here for playback. On the back of it here, we have our power input here, and that is DC 12 volt. We have a USB. We have an Ethernet directly. That's where your Ethernet cable, the blue one that was provided, goes into the back of your cable modem router into here. And then we do have an HDMI as well. We have some ventilation on the side here and on this side here as well. And some nice padded soft feet there with your hard drive, of course, and your motherboard already installed inside. All the cameras are going to be the same, so let's go ahead and just go through one of them here. And let's get this guy on out of here, and let's take it for a little look-see. Let's go ahead and put on the antenna here, and I'll show you guys what it looks like here. So the antenna obviously can go in different directions, there, front and back, to be able to connect to your box the way you want to. Nice long antenna there, looking great. Now the camera, what's nice is that the camera is not that big. It's about the size of my palm here, and we do have our mount here. Now the mount can actually pivot and twist in many different fashions here. You would tighten up this right here, a little Allen wrench there, and then that would go up or down. And the back of here has a nice soft pad, so you can mount that wherever you wanted to mount that at. The Allen wrenches are provided inside of your little screw bags here. And by loosening up this one, this mount then twists this way. So you have it twisting this way or this way for the different mounting. So your camera is obviously facing in the proper direction. If I haven't mentioned it yet, it is 960p HD, and we'll of course get daytime and nighttime shot footage of that. Camera has a nice little sun hood there to protect it from certain times of the day. We have night vision, motion detection. We have night vision, we have our lenses and our camera lens right in the middle there. Nothing on the bottom, or just the logo on the side here, and on the back and on this side here. And we've already seen the mount there in the antenna. All right, so let's go ahead and get this one out of the way here. I believe these are going to be your wires and all of your other stuff there. Now they do give you a Ethernet cable, even though this is wirelessly connective, because obviously an Ethernet cable does need to go from your box to the back of your cable modem router. We also have our drywall screws and our 4 antennas, one for each camera. We have our power supply for the box. And if you're wondering, that's about a 4-foot cable tip to tip, and that goes into the box here. Next up, they do provide a mouse as well, and that would be for playback. And next up is gonna be our individual, there's 4 again of these. This is the power supply for the camera. And that is a very long cable there so that you can connect to a power source. I'm gonna go guesstimation about 8 foot tip to tip. That is a guesstimation or so. power supply for each individual camera. Again, you do have 4 total, but I obviously will only show you one.
I have to say is everything is very well organized and packed in the box. So let me show you all the components that you're going to get. So what you have is your DVR, and the DVR is probably about the size of a DVD player, and which is not really large at all. So let me just put my hand right here so you can see the overall dimensions. Right now, the cool thing about this is that as I flip this up, ta-da! It also has a monitor. So this monitor right here is going to allow you to see what is in your DVR. So that's a built-in monitor. So this is, again, a self-contained platform. So you don't need to connect this to your TV. You don't need to connect it to a computer. Everything is here. We'll take a look at this in detail in a couple seconds, and then you also have some antennas here on the side. Now you have these boxes, and all these boxes have a lot of goodies in them. So here you have a lot of cabling, and again, don't freak out because this is a wireless system, but these cables really are the power supplies, right? So you have all the power supplies. You do have a Ethernet cable that you could use for the DVR, as well as it comes with a little mouse too. So that's pretty nice that all that stuff is included. Now over here we have individually boxed each one of the cameras. So we're going to go ahead and open this up and see what these look like. They're nicely protected in here, and you can see that these are, again, bullet type cameras. See that right there? Which you're going to be able to adjust. Really, the angle is top to bottom, right? So you'll notice that there is, it looks like there's a rotation screw, which I can see if that's actually the case. But here you have your mounting, where you're mounted onto a wall. You do have some screws here that you'll be able to use with an Allen wrench, and then you have the high gain antenna that you'll connect here so that you can get the Wi-Fi signal. Right, so what I did is I loosened the Allen lock that was here just to show you the range of motion. So you do have the ability to rotate the camera this way. So again, depending on where you're mounting it, if you're mounting it on an overhang or outside, you have the ability to do an adjustment that way. You also have the adjustment to go up and down because you have another Allen right here, so you're going to be able to make it go up and down. And then you also have the ability to rotate it left or right. So you have the flexibility, again, this way, and that way. So you have a lot of flexibility when it comes to pointing these cameras. Now as we continue to take a look at the camera itself, you'll notice that first of all I mounted the antenna. It's pretty simple. All you're going to do is screw it right there, and then that will take care of it. But then what you have are 2 cables here. This is an Ethernet connection, or RJ45, that's going to give you the ability to connect this in a wired setting if that's what you'd like to do. We're going to go wireless, right? So then here is our power cord. This is where we'll put our power adapter. The rest of the cable, obviously, you'll tuck it away depending on where you mount it. Now taking a closer look at the DVR, you have some standard ports here, HDMI for HDMI out if you'd want to, Ethernet connection. You do also have USB and a power cord. On the bottom here you have some nice rubberized feet that you're going to be able to put that in a place that's going to stay put. If we flip this around, this is the front. It's a very, very looking system, very good looking system. So here you have, again, nice red and with black front face, power, hard drive indicator, again, USB again, and then power to the screen. So let's go ahead and power this thing up to see what it looks like. Now let's talk about the cameras and the setup process. First of all, the fact is that there's really no setup process outside of just plugging in the DVR, which I did to an Ethernet cable, and connecting it to your home router. It auto configures, so it sets itself up, and there's really nothing else for you to do. The only thing is, again, you have to have a patch cable, Ethernet cable that you're connecting to, and you'd connect that to your router. So I've done that. Now the rest of the process is literally plug and play. As soon as you power up each one of the cameras, you're going to see them appear in each one of these screens. So just giving you a sense, I wanted to show you what indoor shots would look like, outdoor shots would look like. So what you have, and I'm going to move this mouse, the included mouse. This is my office now, studio, and what I wanted to do is show you kind of the overall responsiveness of the cameras to motion. So I'm going to move it to the left, and then you're going to see it moving to the left, and then I'm going to move it over to the right, and I'm going to move it. You're going to see the image moving to the right, and you can see the type of quality that we get. It's daytime here, so what I'm going to be doing also is shutting down the lights in my studio so that you can see what the night vision capabilities would look like, or how the images would look at night. So again, very responsive. The images are very clear, and again, I love the fact that you can just plug this in and it starts working. Now we have other cameras here. I have an outdoor camera set up. So this is my backyard. I have one pointing outward to the front of the street, and then I put one inside facing my living room, just so that you can see what things actually look like. Now there's a couple of features here that we're going to go over. So let's look at each one of the capabilities for those of you who are really interested in this camera. So what we'll do is, since we have the guys here, I'm going to go ahead and double click. Once you double click on it, you're going to be able to zoom in, and this is again going to give you a sense of just overall the quality of the camera. I'm going to bring this up again so you can see. You're getting 960p, not quite 1080p, but 960p resolution. And again, as I tilt it, it's very, very responsive. On the screen, you're going to see a couple things. Over here in the bottom right, you're going to see the date and time. You're also going to see the camera ID, as well as the status of the camera, that the camera is online. You do have menus, and this menu appears basically when you hit the right mouse button, and you can see that you have split screen options. So first of all, if you want to go back, all you got to do is go back to your 4 view, just like that. If you want to bring up this menu again, let's look at some of the options here. We're not going to go through every single one, but for those of you who are considering this for a business, you may want to understand what each of the capabilities are that you see here. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down and we're going to choose Video Manager. And here what you're going to be able to see is the IP address of all the cameras, right? You do have the ability to delete them, to do the Wi-Fi setup, but once again, it just worked. I didn't have to do anything to them at all. Again, you just plugged it in and it started going. Because again, it's really a direct connection to the box. So you're not setting this up to your Wi-Fi network and putting your SSID on each one. The cameras are, I'm going to use the term paired to the actual box itself. So the neat thing about this is that if you have a remote home and you want to monitor that home, you could set this up at home, take it to your home in whatever location it is, and then just set up the cameras, power them up, and you're done. Really, that's all it takes. So again, you have the ability to refresh, modify. There's all these settings here that you can work with, and it's giving you an idea of what is the kind of bandwidth. Remember, this DVR also has 1 terabyte of storage. If we go into system setup, you have the ability to set up several settings here, including the screen setup, the hard drive setup, and then any kind of errors that you'll be dealing with. You'll notice here that you have language settings. You have again the same things that you see over here, just mirrored up here, that you can go into each one of these as well. So all I'm going to do now is just click on each one of these menus so you can see what you can expect. So we're here in the first one. We're going into this setting, HD setup setting, error setup. All right. We'll go into the recording area. This is network setup, channel setup, and then the system setup. By default, it does come with an admin ID, and the password is blank. There's none. But I would recommend that once you have this set up, that you actually do it. There's also an Android application that you can use to do some remote monitoring, if that's something you'd like to do. And all you do is you go show a QR code, and then you choose which client you're looking for: an Android client, an iOS client, or if you're looking for a web client. So again, 3 choices that you can work with. All right, so we'll go ahead and hit return. We'll hit cancel here. Let's go. Let's now look at the video playback section. All right, so we'll go to video playback, and again, this is showing kind of me putting the cameras up. So it's going through, and it's going to show all the events. So this is where you can. This is like your DVR function, so you can fast forward, and then you'll see as each one of the cameras start coming online. And let's go back into the menu. So that's the video playback. The video backup options, so you can see what your backups options are here. And we'll go ahead and then I'll go back to my split screen. And all these controls are being managed via the mouse. So as you can see, incredibly simple system to use. Has great image quality. I just am floored on how easy it was to set up, because literally all you do is plug it in, power it up, and you're set to go. Now, before going into that night vision view, I just wanted to show you one more thing that I think is extremely important when it comes to security cameras, and that is the ability to establish motion detection. So this system does allow for that. This system allows you to have zones so that you can draw the zone that you want to be able to get a triggered alert on. It also is going to be able to detect an entire area, and you can set time limits. You can select the duration of the sensitivity, all these kind of neat things. So this is under the system area, and what you see here is I can choose my individual camera. So the channels refer to your cameras, the detection, which is motion, the duration of the alarm detection, and then the overall sensitivity, so you can adjust this. The neat thing about this is that you can set an alarm, a buzzer, so the actual, if you're in the house, the system is going to this system here will get those buzzes, email notice, or an app alarm. So this is if you have the actual application installed on your phone. So the fact that you can get notifications from motion makes this a very, very complete system and a very valuable platform for just monitoring your home or your business. All right, so now this is going to give you a sense of what the night vision capabilities look like. So what we're going to do is, let's zoom into this one right here. You can see I have my trio of guys back there, so we're going to bring the camera up so you can see them, and I can turn the spotlight left or right and see that one of them is checking out those earbuds right there, and the other guy is telling him to stop, kind of. And then you can see as I'm panning all the things that are there. Now again, this is a fixed bullet camera, but I just I'm showing you kind of like what you can expect from the night vision. And those images, or the figurines that I have, are about 3 feet away from the camera. I'm going to pull back a little bit more so that you can get a better shot. So now this is about 5 feet away, and then I'm going to come closer again so that you can see what you can expect. Again, really, really good image quality. And once again, this is not going through your Wi-Fi network, but it's all connected to this DVR system. So very good performance. So guys, that concludes our review of the Cromorc all-in-one security system. Again, a fantastic solution for those of you who are looking for a simple solution. Everything is plug and play, and it's convenient, it's Wi-Fi, and it gives you great video quality.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the app here. This is for the Droid, but obviously you can download it for the iPhone as well. I got the Samsung S8 Plus. I just downloaded the app in the Google Play Store. It's called IP Pro. And actually, oh my goodness gracious, we've been in SD the whole entire time. So let's come up there to HD. Whoa, okay, that just blows me out of the water right there. I didn't even realize that. You guys probably already saw that, but now we are in HD. Looking great. Let's go ahead and take a look back at all the shots here. So this one is SD, so it definitely cleans it just for a brief second there, and it cleans it back to HD. Forgive me on that one. I should have noticed that. Let's go ahead and go to the shot here. Let's go to HD, crisps it up a little bit there on that one as well. And then one more time on the wall, and let's go to HD and crisps it up even cleaner than it was before. Absolutely fantastic. The app is very nice. You can do recordings to your phone right here, bottom right. You can do a snapshot bottom left. You can add more cameras again. This system allows you to add 4 more cameras right here, page 2. So I have again 4, and you can get 4 more with this system. Let's check out window there. See, you can have 4 here. You can move it to 6 if you have 6. You can move it to 8 if you have 8 like this. You could have 1, but I prefer 4 like that, and just double tap on the one that you want here. Aspect ratio, you can do 4.3, 16.9 original, and I like 16.9.
All right, so here we have it. We got the 4 cameras, including this one here. And this one is the farthest away. You see that car that just passed by? Click on whatever you want. Go in, zoom in, you can zoom in. And you could right click to just go back. This over here is this camera here. Looks pretty nice. Right click to go to the menu. Split screen if you want split screen. Video manager. All the information here. Also system setup. Over here on the general setup, you could set up the time, screen setup, hard drive setup, error setup. You could go to record setup, the alarm setup. You could also and to record all channels, create the alarm, buzzer, detection types, and let me see, network, DDNS, all these 3G email, Wi-Fi setup. Make sure that you change this one to FCC. You got for Europe FCC over here, and update it. The FCC will emit a stronger signal, I have noticed, for United States.